joining me again for this self-care talk. Thank you again for joining for the self-care talk today. And not only talk but experience, right? Because that's the important thing, is not only because information is for the head, experience is for the body, right? And that's the key. That's what's going to change us. Something that we can actually experience in our whole body, because stress, our life, we experience everything in our whole body. It's not just like, oh, I had an experience, so I think about it. No, things don't just happen in our heads, in our minds. It's everything that happens to us, and that we're involved in, is a whole body experience, right? And somehow, even if we're just thinking about something, there are effects that happen in our body. Did you know that? Even if just by thinking about something, whatever you're thinking affects your body. Did you know that? Do an experiment. If you're thinking, or if there's music going on, that's an easy way to test this. If there's music going on, that's uplifting, that you like, that you jive with, then you're going to feel more uplifted, right? That's just Nate. How we interact with our environment. It's all the same. It's all the same. Everything around us, affects us, and it's the same with everything inside of us. All right. So, movement. Are you moving too much or not enough? How do you know that? And why am I saying too much? Can you really move too much? Or certainly we know you could move too little. But have you been thinking about that? Are you aware that you may be, you know, uh, making things harder for yourself by not moving enough? And I'm using the word movement intentionally instead of exercise, as we usually think of it perhaps these days, because really that's what it's about. Is our bodies are made to move. We're animals. All animals move. There's very few animals that just stay still for a long time. When they do, then they have spurts of time where they're moving. Okay, so unless you're going out for like sprints, to make up for all your sedentary behavior, then you probably want to just move more regularly in small periods of time, more frequently. Does that make sense? Right? So, does it have to be specifically exercise? Not necessarily. It doesn't have to be like in the form of a squat, or like running, or whatever we think of as exercise. Playing is movement. It can be exercise. Are you playing with your kids? That's a wonderful way to get movement in, or with other kids. Are you playing, finding some way to play that's 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 active. Active play is excellent. It fills so many needs that we have. So I encourage you to think about movement instead of exercise as a necessity. Does that make sense? So put the word movement in the comments if that makes sense to you. If you jive with that, if that's new to you, say new. Say new. Is that a new concept to just kind of broaden your perspective of what we need in terms of exercise or movement? So share that, with me if that's new for you. Uh, Going a little deeper, I have this book, but this is something that I've always kind of, been in my mindset, that that sneaky fitness, and again, exercise, if we want to call it that, can be snuck into, can be a part of all kinds of different activities that we might already do, or that are fun, or necessary or useful in other ways. Our kids and us need to cook. So how can you incorporate movement while you're cooking? Need to make food. And how can you incorporate movement, as I said, games and playing into, there's so many ideas. So I think over time, I'll set up, I'll share with you some more of these tips, from here, or walking. If you need to go someplace, how can you make that distance that you're walking instead of driving, a little bit further to get in some more walking? So there's a lot of different ideas to get more movement in to your day. Personally, I'm the strange one who will start, doing some, whether squats or some other things. If I'm waiting in line at grocery store, I don't do that all the time, but I have done it before. And, honestly, it's a good idea. It's a good idea, right? Or at the playground. I have a little one. So if you have a little one and you find yourself out and about with them, just kind of watching them, well, how can you incorporate more movement while you're watching them instead of just sitting there watching them? They're running around. Little ones naturally move all the time, right? Right? Most of the time. Because again, we're animals. It's natural for us to want to move and to move. That's how we're made, and our bodies are so much happier when we are. Have you ever noticed that? So put down below, how much where do you grade yourself right now in the level of movement that you think that you're doing compared to what you think is ideal for you? It's hard to judge because you don't really know what's ideal for you exactly. But just, where do you think you're at? If 10 was ideal, 1 is like nothing, where do you feel like you're at right now in a 1 to 10 spectrum? So share that. And then also, what is that 10? What is that idea of 10 for you? Because the point that I'm trying to make here with this, are you moving enough or too little, or too much actually, is that there is a too much, and it varies depending on the person and where you are in life. So too much exercise and too much movement actually put more stress on the body. It stresses our nutrient load. So if we're already nutrient deficient, mineral deficient, we're going to be even more mineral nutrient deficient after exercising extensively, right? So then you're going to be even more depleted. So unless you're really working on, replenishing yourself, both from the original depletion and then in addition from the excess exercise, then you're really just stressing your body more by doing too much exercise. Does that make sense? Running and excess cardio, not dissing on running specifically, but just a lot of cardio, which has been kind of made out to be like the ultimate, like, oh, everyone needs to exercise and do running or a lot of cardio, right? There are periods of time where that's been really, held up as the gold standard of exercise. Too much of that actually impedes weight loss and can stress, like I said, can stress the body more. Does that make sense? We have to think of it in terms of, a lot of this makes sense when you think of it in terms of the evolution of our body and our and cultures over time. In times, if the body is exercising a lot, moving a lot, we want to conserve energy. So it's going to hold on to the fat reserves that it has even more. Does that make sense? If it feels stressed, if the body feels stressed too much. Okay. So you want to find that happy medium for you, where you can recover quick enough. You don't feel depleted throughout the day after exercising, but it gives you that extra boost of energy that you need and that we all need, and we get that boost of a dopamine, that feel good molecules, the hormones and everything from movement. Okay, right. So we want that, right? We need that, but we don't need the excess stress. So we want to find that medium, right? Okay. So there's a lot of factors when it comes to movement. So I'm going to really just keep it simple right now. And another time I'm going to go into more, how actually it's about our energy system as well as just physical system. So, and it's also about not just our muscles, it's also our tendons. So there's a lot of details. It's also about our organs, so there's a lot it's also about our breathing. Right? There's a lot of different factors that we can consider when moving. Itself, intentional deep breathing is a movement. Stretching is movement, gentle, relaxing stretching. Not stretching that's gonna, strain you, or so I'm just doing a little bit right now, or cause you, to feel more stressed. Simply more of a stress relief, right? Does that make sense? There's so much benefit to that slow, intentional movement. So, right? Even just that amount of movement I did right now felt so good. So, can you do that with me? So let's begin to dive in. So, if you're not already standing, I encourage you to stand up, get your feet, kind of moving your feet on the ground so you can feel them planted, okay, on the ground. And again, the level of movement that's going to be right for you is very individual and specific for you, given any particular day, depending on what's going on in your life, what's going on in your body, etc. So do not feel pressure that you have to do a certain type of movement every day. I really don't believe in that, actually. I believe that there are really simple, effective things you can do. But to hold yourself to a standard of like, this is what I'm going to do every day, just doesn't always make sense on our healing journey. Okay. There are some days where we're just going to be wiped out. Some days where our body needs to recover more. Okay. So we can honor that process. The beginning, if you're, needing to go through more of an extensive weight loss journey, the movement may not be priority to you at all. I'm serious. Now, some movement, yes. Okay. But think of it in terms of exercise, extensive exercise, maybe not. Walking, yes. So again, thinking of it broader in terms of movement. Yes, you do want to get movement into your day, most definitely. But depending on, how, where you are in your life and your journey, your healing journey, the level of exercise that you want to get is going to vary greatly, honestly. For me, that's been the case. And so I'm sure that's true for everyone else in terms of depending on where you're at in your life, how much stress your body's already under, your mind's already under. You got to pull back on the exercise, give yourself a break. That just may be the case, let yourself recover more and replenish, renourish, keep, taking in really good nutrition. And so your body gets stronger and stronger from the inside out. And it works. It happens that way. So there's a misconception that exercise is the main way to lose weight. Is that true? I'm going to be questioning this. In fact, it has been shown in studies that up to 80% of weight loss and health is actually nutrition, is more diet related. Is that good news or bad news for you? I don't know. Are you excited about that? Say, yes, nutrition, or, oh, no, put a comment below, depending on how that hits you. I'm curious about that. Is that new information to you? Or have you already heard that? Okay. So I'm really curious about that. But that is the reality. And I didn't know that for the longest time because it really isn't talked about widely, but it's going to be. You're going to start hearing more and more about that because that is the reality. Most of what happens in our body is from our diet and nutrition, or things that we put into our body, or things that we think. Yes, that affects it. Certainly, movement is a big part of this as well. So it is a factor, but it is not the main factor. Someone saying here, thanks for sharing your comment. Says, no, I like my snacks too much. I hear you. And I'm sure most people are in that situation, in that boat. Yes. So how can we work with that? It's not about feeling deprived. It's not about depriving ourselves. It's not about craving all the time. In fact, I have a system that I've been using myself. And I'm so excited that it's been working for me, at least most of the time. Okay, I'm human, just like you. But most of the time, my cravings are gone. And most of the time, I do not feel deprived of foods that I love. And most of the time, I'm able to really stick with it and feel like, you know what? And it's making a difference in my health, in my weight loss journey, in my just overall enjoyment and energy level in my life. Because who wants to be craving something all the time? That's an addiction, really, right? If you're just like, oh, I need to eat something, that's an that's like, being, it's like a relationship, like, oh, I need you. It's like, I'm just talking like it is, right? If we need some food, if we need to eat all the time, we're not really as independent as we could be, right? That's how I felt. I felt like food at some point was really like a chain for me. It's like, oh, like I feel like I have to eat all the time. I was feeling hungry so often. I was, too often, and having cravings, for things that maybe weren't great for me, and I knew that. So what do I do about that? And there are things you can do. Believe me, have faith, have hope. There is a way out. There is a way out. So I'm going to be talking about that a lot more. If you are not already in my my group, my Facebook group, go ahead and join Beyond Basic Wellness on a Facebook group, Beyond Basic Wellness, and I'll be talking a lot more about that there. And, these other places on Instagram at my Be Well with Danielle page as well. But I do encourage you, if you want to really dive into this journey, this healing journey, whether it's for weight loss, to get rid of an illness, whatever your focus is, I encourage, and you really want to dive in and you're like, I need this now. Like, I don't want to just get trickled information week by week. I need more concentrated help. Well, if you really want concentrated help, then just reach out to me directly. That's the best way to do it. Let's just chat directly and see what's going to be most helpful for you immediately to get started. But if you want a deeper dive, then join the Beyond Basic Wellness group. And that's where we're going to be really starting to dive in deeper into some of these concepts and ways to move yourself out from attachments to food, and not just attachments, but honestly, addictions, I can call them, or just that cycle, that trap cycle where you're like eating, but then you don't feel that good afterwards, and your body isn't feeling as good. So you're like, how do I get out of this? But then you keep craving and keep being more hungry. I get it. Right? Okay. So movement. Let's do some really simple stretching and some movement together right now. All right. Are you willing to do it with me? Great. So go ahead. If you haven't already, stand up. Start by taking some deep breaths. Shake your body out a little bit. Shaking is a really excellent stress relief technique. Our body needs to kind of wiggle and shake, as strange as that may sound. That's a really natural and healthy movement for us. Just, any kind of movement and shaking. Think of an animal, a cat, a dog, whatever you've seen. After they go through something that they don't really like, if they get sprayed with water, what do? They shake off. They're not just shaking off the water, they're shaking off the experience. It's literally true. You can shake something off. Think of it. That saying doesn't just come from nowhere. It's the truth. We can shake things off, but you literally have to physically move to do it. You literally have, our bodies, our cells need to move, need to experience that. Yes, make noise. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to look silly, but if you try it, you'll be like, oh, that works. Whatever noise, whatever kind of movement feels good to you, just do it. Roll your shoulders. And you hear me, I'm being very vocal and interactive, sigh, because the sound resonates in our mind, in our head, and send signals to our nervous system to relax even more. So, you doing it? Doing it? Comment, say, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. All right, ready? Put your feet on the ground. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel them. Let your hands, your arms relax down. Let's go ahead and reach up our arms. You can see me a little bit better. Reaching up and then stretch. Reach, reach, reach. Reach to the sky. Reach as far as what's comfortable for you. And look up. Stretch that neck. And again, be gentle with yourself. Do what feels good for you. If you're comfortable with this, roll, stretch to one side. Taking a deep breath, ideally. Ready? Let's do this slower. So reach up with the big inhale and then exhale to the side. Beautiful. Beautiful. And again, inhale. Okay, look up, reach slightly backward. Ready? Can you reach slightly back? Beautiful. Relax your shoulders down. Exhale to one side, the other side. Good. Good. And when you're ready, inhale up. Let's move our wrists around, our fingers. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Yes, they need to be wiggled and stretched too. And again, stretch backwards with a big inhale. Up, exhale. Very good. And arms out. Okay, this is a trick that I have. You ready to get in on a little trick? To crack your upper back. Ready? It's real helpful. I need to crack my back a lot because the upper back, you were often slouching over, whatever the case may be. So reach your arms outward and then bring your shoulders together. If they need to crack, if you loosen them up like that, you can often get them. And it feels looser, really open. So do this diving motion with me. You're diving forward, opening the heart, and diving forward. Very good. Reaching up, and diving forward. Beautiful. Good. Opening up, and be very gentle with your back. If you're not used to doing stretching backward, then don't do that so much. Just do very little backward. But move your wrists and hands facing backward as much as you can. And then dive forward. Beautiful. Rolling the neck around. Good. Good. The neck is really important to keep moving gentle. Again, always gentle with our bodies, especially if we're just exploring and getting used to what our body can do comfortably. So if you're not used to doing this, be very extremely gentle. My neck does get tight, so I have to be gentle with it, like I'm suggesting that you be, right? Now, reaching down and stretching our legs is also really beneficial. So many benefits of stretching our legs. So I'm going to do a forward bend with you now. And so again, do what's comfortable for you, but I really encourage you to go ahead. This will work. So just go ahead, reach up, and whatever's comfortable, whatever level is comfortable for you, roll down or just gently lower yourself down. And let yourself hang. Let your upper body hang down. Your neck and your shoulders hanging down. So hopefully, yeah, I think you can see me enough. My neck and my shoulders hanging down. Let them kind of wiggle around a little bit so you can make sure you're not holding on to the tension. So hold on to your toe at the bottom, your toes. Stretch the back of your leg. The back of your leg is really important to stretch. It also relieves tension on your organs. When you're doing this, there's a lot of benefit. Stress relieving on your neck and your shoulders and your whole body. It's calming for the nervous system. Good. And when you're ready, when you're ready, go ahead and reach up forward. Reach up forward first, and then with a straight back, reach up. Very good. Very good. Stretching, reaching again, looking up, counter stretch, looking up and out. Good. Beautiful. So we did some really slow, relaxing movement today. How did that feel? How did that feel? Put some comments below. Relaxing. How do you feel afterwards? You know, I don't want to put words in your mouth. You tell me. How are you feeling? Okay. Another one. The arms. Again, I said sometimes it's about the muscles. Oftentimes it's more about the tendons. Stretch the tendons of your arm are really, really beneficial. So push the hand, the palms, like you're pushing, like you have walls against you, like you're pushing the walls of the room that you're in or wherever you are, pushing them out. Like you're, like something's next to you and you're pressing it out. So get your palms. Now my hands are tight, so I can't do this exactly 90 degrees, but wherever you can do. Another stretch at the back there. Just press those palms out as much as you can. You might feel intense around here. Again, in the tendons along the arm. That's great. That's great. It's really good and relaxing for the body for you to feel that tendon stretch there. Really calming for the nervous system. Right. Good. How does that feel? Good. Get an extra little neck roll in here while you're compressing your shoulders and your neck. Making circles. And moving your wrists around, loosening them up. Beautiful. How does that feel? Always checking in with your body. Stretching the inside of our leg. The inside of our leg is also extremely important. And you can stretch the back of your leg a little bit more also just by doing one leg at a time. So holding one leg, putting one leg forward, the other leg knee is bent. Pressing into that leg. Great. Hold that longer. I'm just going to speed it up a little bit here. That you can stay in these stretches as long as you can, as long as it's comfortable for you. At least a good 30 seconds to a minute really gets some releasing going on. Get into that. You feel this way when you're doing one leg at a time. Feels like you can go a little bit deeper into that buttocks muscle there in the back, in your lower back. Really good for releasing tension in your lower back. But again, start out really slowly if you're not used to doing this. Get one leg at a time. One leg at a time. Get the inner leg. Good. Good. and slight twist, gentle twist. Again, I started with the shaking. Remember, I'm reminding you right now that we started with the shaking because you want to warm your body up first before moving, especially in this kind of way. If you're moving your back, if you're not used to it, you want to warm up first. That is really important. Okay. So do some kind of movement to get your body warmed up. So these are the basic movements that you can do on a regular basis, basic stretches or movements, if you will, that can help keep your body more limber, more relaxed, more energetic, and actually increase your metabolism at the same time. So, a lot of great benefits to this type of relaxing, stretching, and gentle movement. So, how did you like it? How did you like it? Throw your comments below. What did you get from this? What movement are you going to keep doing daily now? Or all of it? All of it. Is there something new that you were like, oh, I really like that? Maybe it's not new, but you were reminded of a movement that really felt good to you. Okay, which one is it? Which one is it? Thank you for joining me today. And I am so glad to be a part of this healing journey with you. It's really a special experience, a special, gift for me and for you. So I'm really glad, I'm really proud of you for all your effort. It really adds up and really makes a difference. So, and again, if you're not in my Beyond Basic Wellness group, then please join that if you wanted for a deep dive, and just go ahead and message me. Be Well with Danielle. And again, I am Danielle Brisk, energy coach and holistic healer. And I'm so glad to serve you in whatever way I can in your healing journey. I do help people relieve stress and reverse illness and lose the weight so that they can actually enjoy their life again, right? Sounds good, right? So if that's you, then let's connect. I'll talk to you soon. All right, very good. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.